ano ako duplicate. Halo, So am I audible to everyone? Okay, give me a minute, we'll get started, okay? Okay, so welcome to madBlocks Connect webinar on Amazon Alexa. And this program is powered by Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering of Malineni Lakshmaiah Women's Engineering College, Guntur, in association with Ignite 2020. So today, my name is Madhu Parvatneni. I'll be instructing you in this webinar how to develop smart devices with Amazon Alexa. This video is in recording, okay? I'll share you the video after the webinar. If there is any queries, you can push me in the WhatsApp group, okay? I'm there in the WhatsApp group, and also you can push me in chat, okay? If you have any queries here and there. So initially, we would like to thank the Department of EC for joining us on this webinar. So in along with the department, I thank all the participants for joining us in the webinar. So let's jump back into the topic of Amazon Alexa, how to build a smart devices on it. Okay. So we'll be providing the e-certificate after the completion of quiz. Okay, you will be having a quiz tomorrow morning. So the video will be shared tonight, and the quiz will be organized tomorrow morning, so that you can attempt and you can get a certificate there itself. And this is my mobile number 7893015625. Okay, if you have any queries here and there on Amazon Alexa, even after the webinar also, you can push me a message or you can call me up. And let's understand what is this Amazon Alexa. Okay, and let us understand how to create a skill on Amazon Alexa. So let me divide this entire webinar into two phases. The phase one is understanding how this Amazon Alexa will work. Phase two, integrating the Amazon Alexa with the Internet of Things. Okay, so these are the two phases which I wanted to share and discuss. Okay, the programming language, when we talk about prerequisites, the programming language for building the smart devices with Amazon Alexa is Python. Okay, I'm using Python 2.7 in this webinar for building a skill on Amazon Alexa. Okay, so let's jump into the topic. So generally I use Google Colab, so that I used to write all important points in a notes. Okay, so that I'll be sharing this notebook file as well in along with video. So let me note it down all the points. Okay, important points in related to the webinar. So let us talk about what are the prerequisites required. Okay, why they are required and what are they. And the first prerequisite in understanding this webinar is Python. So Python programming language. So I'm using Python 2.7. I'm using Python 2.7 version for scripting the for scripting the target. And what is my target here? My target is to control the IoT device with Amazon Alexa. So that is my target. So I'm using Python programming language. So hope you are familiar with Python. So I'll be using Python programming language for scripting the target. The target is very simple. If I say Alexa, switch on the bulb, then the Alexa should able to switch on the bulb. Okay. So the target should be like bulb on. If I say Alexa, switch off the bulb, and the target should be like the bulb should off. So this is my target. So to script this target, I'm using Python programming language. So that is one prerequisite here. The second prerequisite is Alexa skills kit. Alexa skills kit is nothing but a portal where you can able to create a new skill. Okay, so this is a portal where you can able to create a new skill. Okay, so the name itself says Alexa skills kit. So where you need to create a new skill. And three, AWS management console, which is AWS account. Okay, in particular. So AWS account is needed because the programming language. So I said we have to write a program for scripting this target. So the program, if you want to create a program, you need an interface, right? You need a server. You need a server which executes this program, right? So without any server or without any interface, we cannot, without any compute engine, we cannot able to execute any program, right? So you need a server which executes a program. But there are some servers which are serverless, like the application will be run directly without any server. So in particular, we need a serverless software, or you can say serverless software, which should be able to execute this Python programming language. So that is there available in AWS account. So I'll be using AWS account, in order to have a software like, to execute the program on the backend on AWS. So I need AWS account. So this is the third prerequisite, and the fourth prerequisite is like you can use Python 3.7 also. You can use Python 3.7 even in addition to Python 2.7. That is also fine. Okay. Okay. So these are the three important prerequisites. In addition to this, we need one madBlocks IoT SDK. Okay. So using this SDK, we can be able to control devices from a remote area. Okay, so this is used to control devices from a remote area. So this is a fourth one, and the fifth prerequisite is like, you need Amazon developer account. Okay, so Amazon developer account is needed in order to access Alexa skills kit. Okay, in order to access Alexa skills kit, so you need Amazon developer account. So these are the five important prerequisites. Okay, one, we are using a programming language called Python. We can use Python 2 or Python 3. Okay, so second, Alexa, we are having a target like, controlling bulb, which is an IoT device. So we need Alexa skills kit. So this is a portal where you need to create a new skill, and then we need a account in AWS so that we can able to execute the program on the backend. And we need a madBlocks IoT SDK, and this madBlocks IoT SDK will be used to control devices from a remote area, because this madBlocks SDK will be generating the API keys for the devices so that they can be able to access, okay, from a remote area. By using an application, we can able to access them. And second, and the last one is like Amazon developer account. So let me open all this stuff. Okay, so let me open all this stuff, so that as the time is limited, let me open all this stuff. So one, you need aws.amazon.com AWS account. Okay, so let me sign in. So AWS offers wide services, right, in different domains, right, ranging from IoT to augmented reality. A lot of services here. So out of which we are using only one service today, which is serverless package. So let me sign in into the console. So there is an orange color button on the right top. So let me sign in. I am user. Just I'm signing into my AWS account. So meanwhile, let me open my developer account of Amazon. Okay, so that I can able to create or access Alexa skills kit. So ADS, Amazon developer portal is different. AWS is different. So from Amazon developer, you can able to access Amazon Alexa and also Amazon App Store. You can build applications for Amazon Fire TV, Fire tablet, and mobile platforms and all. And also there you can able to access dash replenishment, and you can also have access AWS from here. So but anyways, we need Amazon Alexa for today. So we should be able to have an account in Amazon developer. So, and which is like a front end. Okay, so when you look at an application will be having both front end and back end, right? An application will be having a front end and also a back end. So when you look at front end and back end for this topic, for creating a skill on Amazon Alexa, so the front end will be like, Amazon developer account, in particular ASK. Okay, Alexa skills kit will be acting as a front end. And when you look at back end, this AWS serverless, okay, in particular AWS Lambda. So Lambda is a serverless function. Okay, so this function will be executed without any server. So we'll be using this AWS Lambda in the backend, and front end will be the Amazon developer account in particular, which is like, Alexa skills kit here. So Alexa skills kit will be acting as a front end for the application in controlling the devices from a remote area, and the backend is AWS serverless, which is AWS Lambda. Okay, so let me sign in into my Amazon developer portal. Okay, so there will be a sign in option here. We can able to sign in with our credentials. Yes, so I have logged in into developer.amazon.com with my user email and password, and also I have logged in into AWS Management Console. So in AWS Management Console, you'll have a lot of services. Okay, you'll have a lot of services, and various domains. You'll have a lot of services, out of which today I'm using only one service, which is AWS Lambda. Okay, AWS Lambda, which is nothing but running code without thinking about servers, which people call it as serverless functions. So let us use this service AWS Lambda, which is like a backend. Okay, AWS Lambda is nothing but a service where you have to execute your Python script. But when you look at front end is all about creating a skill using Amazon Alexa. So let us access this Amazon Alexa as I have logged in here. It is now redirected to Amazon Alexa developer console. Okay, so this is Amazon Alexa developer console, which is Amazon Alexa official site. Okay, uh, so all the events, all the technical information and the software information will be available here, Amazon Alexa information. And so this is like a front end. Okay, so as I said, every application will have front end and back end. Front end will be Amazon Alexa, Alexa skills kit in particular, Amazon developer account. Back end will be AWS serverless. Okay, so let us understand what is this Amazon Alexa. Amazon Alexa is a voice assistant. Amazon Alexa is a voice assistant which can respond with the user voice instruction. Okay, so what will happen at Amazon Alexa? Let us understand. Okay, so the voice instruction, so user will be asking a question. So the question will be in the voice format, right? So that voice format will be converted to text format, and that text format and the text will be analyzed and interpreted, and the respective answer will be prompted by the engine with text, and again text will be converted into voice. So here, if you understand briefly, input to Alexa is voice. Intermediate, what are the intermediate steps here? Intermediate steps are converting voice to text and text interpretation. Okay, understanding what the user is talking about. Text interpretation is nothing but that's where artificial intelligence comes into place. So AI comes into place in text interpretation, understanding what user is talking about. Okay, what in which context the user is talking about and what he is talking about. So text interpretation. After once the text is interpreted, once the text is predicted, okay, once the text is predicted, again text will be converted into voice, and so the output will be the voice here. In between input and output, there is an intermediate stage where voice will be converted to text and text will be interpreted. Text will be analyzed and interpreted and predicted, and the again text will be converted into voice, and that voice will be generated as a response to the user. So this is what happens in Amazon Alexa. So text interpretation. And when you talk about text interpretation, what is this? So text interpretation is nothing but understanding the context. Okay, so here understanding the context and dividing the entire text into tokens, and tokens will be analyzed based on the training. Okay, so based on the training, for example say Alexa switch on the bulb. If you say Alexa switch on the bulb, then the Alexa will be confusing because Alexa will not understand which bulb he wants to switch on. Okay, if you say Alexa switch off the bulb, Alexa will get confused which bulb it has to switch on. Which bulb? Where is that bulb located? You cannot say Alexa switch on the bulb directly, because Alexa will not understand what the user is talking about. It says that I cannot understand what you're talking. Okay, so here what is needed here? You have to intimate Alexa, you have to train Alexa which bulb you want to switch. When I say this instruction, which bulb you want to switch. Okay, and where is that bulb located, which indirectly means that bulb should have an online identity. Okay, that bulb should have an online identity. When the bulb is having online identity, say in terms of API keys, okay, every device, if it is IoT, it is having a unique cipher API key, okay, which is encrypted API key will be there. So the bulb will be having a unique identity, which is like a Aadhaar for human. Okay, Aadhaar ID will be unique from user to user, right? From human to human, Aadhaar ID will be unique. In the similar way, the online devices, the IoT devices will be having an online identity, which is unique identity. So that unique identity will be encrypted, and this identity will be given to Alexa, saying that when the user asks to switch on the bulb, then immediately call this device using the API key. So that is what we have to train. Okay, if the training is not done, it cannot perform the action. Okay, if you are an LKG student, if you are LKG student, if you ask to switch on the bulb, you cannot do it, right? So the LKG student should understand what is that bulb, where it is located, which bulb you want to operate. So according to me, Alexa is a computer, Alexa is a machine or a robot. Alexa is a simple bot for us to understand, and we need to configure Alexa. So this configuration, sometimes people call it as training. So this configuration is required by creating a custom skill. So Alexa is all about, it's a simple virtual bot. Okay, it's a simple virtual bot. Even a physical Alexa is also available, right? So in this webinar, I will be using virtual simulators of Alexa in the developer console. So that is a simple voice and text bot. Okay, but we need to create a custom skill. So creating a custom skill is all about, configuring Alexa which bulb it has to switch on or which bulb it has to switch off, or you can say training. Okay, or you can say training. So when you train, then Alexa will be understanding which bulb it has to switch on. Okay, so in this webinar, I'll be focusing on how to train Alexa. Okay, which bulb? So which bulb means, in the sense, API key of the device has to be added to Alexa, so that the Alexa will be understanding which bulb. Because when you say bulb, you will be having bulb in the bedroom, bulb in the hall. Okay, you'll have bulb at various places, right? So it means that the Alexa has to understand where the bulb located, and also it has to understand which bulb it has to operate. Okay, so it means that we have to create a custom skill. Who will be creating a custom skill? The developers who are building IoT devices integrated with Alexa. So when you search in Amazon, when you search in Amazon store, when you type smart bulbs, they say that a smart bulb is also integrated with Amazon Alexa. It is also integrated with Google Assistant. So when they say that, then who will be creating a custom skill here? The custom skill will be created by developers. So who are developers as of now? So I am the developer and you are the developer who is trying to create this custom skills. Okay, so that is why you need Amazon developer account. Without Amazon developer account, we cannot create this custom skill. So this webinar is all about creating a custom skill to train Alexa for switching on, okay, and switching off the bulb. Creating a custom skill to train Alexa for switching on. So that is nothing but training. Okay, so that is nothing but training. So let us jump into Alexa skills kit. Okay, let us jump into Alexa skills kit and let us understand how to create this custom skill. Okay, so as of now, what is Alexa? Alexa is nothing but voice bot which performs the action what user needs. Okay, if user says to switch on, it will switch on, which indirectly means that Alexa will be acting as an assistant for user to perform a given task. Okay, so let us jump into Alexa skills kit and let us create a custom skill. Okay, so in Amazon Alexa, in the Amazon developer portal, you'll have a console option here. Yeah, create Alexa skills. Okay, let us click on that. So I'm clicking on create Alexa skills, so it will be redirected to Alexa skills kit. So I'm doing this in developer.amazon.com. Okay, Alexa skills kit. Okay, so Alexa skills are nothing but, it's like applications on Alexa. So let us jump into the console. So this is Alexa developer console ADC. It will be, it is a place where you can able to create custom skills. Okay, so it is redirecting to Alexa developer console. Then you will be getting an option how to create custom skill. Yep. So we are in the Alexa developer console, and this is a place where you are insisted to create custom skills. Okay, so let us create a custom skill. So let us create a custom skill. So I'll click on create a skill button. Okay, this is user to, it gives a user interface to create a skill. So here it is asking so one second, someone is spoken in WhatsApp. Okay, let me answer the query there. Okay, so let us enter some skill name. Okay, so let us enter like Malineni bulb. Okay, skill name, and the default language is English. The default language is English. So choose a model to add your skill. So I'll pick custom. Okay, and choose a method to host your skills backend resources. So as I have logged in into AWS Lambda, so let me use provision your own. Okay, let me have my own endpoint. Okay, so endpoint is nothing but a place where backend resources are used. Okay, that is a place where Python script will be hosted. So let us create the skill. So after entering this skill name, what I did here, I have entered my skill name as Malineni space bulb and default language as English, and choosing a model to add your skill is custom, and then choosing a method to host your skills backend resources. So as I am having my own AWS, so I selected provision your own. So having my own endpoint. So let us click on create skill. Okay. So let us click on create skill. Okay, choose a template to add to your skill. Okay, let's select hello world. Generally in any programming language, hello world will be the basic one, right? So let's select it and click on choose. Now the custom skill is able to create, okay, in our account, and thereby we can able to create, we can able to train our Alexa for switching on and off. So this Alexa developer console, as I said, this Alexa developer console is used to create a custom skill, which is like a front end. Okay. So in the Google lab also, I wrote wherein, yeah, in the Google Colab also, I wrote where Alexa Skills Kit will be acting as a front end. Okay, so Alexa Skills Kit will be acting as a front end, and the back end will be AWS Lambda. So AWS Lambda will be acting as a back end. So now in the front end, we have selected Hello World skill. Okay, so we have selected Hello World skill. So the basic skill was built. Okay, so there is no issues in creating a skill. Okay, so here, and we need to understand 2-3 things here. Okay, and in Alexa Developer Console, the first thing is called invocation. Okay, the first thing is called invocation. What is this invocation? Invocation is nothing but activating the skill on Alexa. Okay, for example, say if you want to book, say on Alexa, you'll be having, okay, a skill called Swiggy, say if you want to book a biryani, okay, if you want to book a biryani from Paradise, for example, say if I say Alexa, please book a biryani, okay, a chicken dum biryani, okay, a chicken dum biryani, which is my favorite. So let me say Alexa, please book a chicken dum biryani, uh, from Paradise. If I say this, then what will happen? Alexa will be trying to identify. Alexa will be trying to identify, okay, in Google, okay, in all the other search engines, okay, where is this Paradise located and where is this chicken dum biryani available and all. Okay, it is tried to ping in Google search and the other search engines. Okay, but when you say Alexa, open Swiggy and book a chicken dum biryani from Paradise. So there is a difference between these two things, right? One, you're poking Alexa directly asking to book a chicken biryani from Paradise, so it will try to identify where is this text chicken dum biryani available and Paradise available in the search engines. It will try to list out all the all the portals where is this where is this item located and all. But when you look at the second sentence wherein you're asking Alexa to open Swiggy, okay, and then booking a chicken dum biryani from Paradise. So your Swiggy will be having your GPS location, your Swiggy will be having your home address, and it is trying to identify where is a Paradise located nearby and trying to book a chicken dum biryani packet from there. So which means that this is one kind of alerting or activating, or you can say opening a skill, or you can say accessing a skill. Okay, so Alexa open Swiggy, which indirectly means that you are activating the skill or you are accessing the skill there. Okay, so here in the first sentence wherein you're not activating the skill, right? You're just asking Alexa to book a chicken dum biryani there. So here it is inappropriate command, right? But Alexa will try to find it out from the Google search engine there, or try to find it out from Yahoo search. So here when you look at this particular one, Alexa will be pushing a request to Swiggy application on your mobile phone, and Swiggy, as we mentioned, when to book a biryani and what to book biryani, from where you wanted to book biryani, everything is mentioned here, right? So this is a appropriate skill. Okay, so hope you understood what is invocation here. Invocation is nothing but accessing the skill. So what is the invocation name in the sentence? The invocation name in the sentence is nothing but Swiggy. Is nothing but Swiggy. And there is no invocation name. There is no invocation name. If there is no invocation name included in the command, okay, if there is no invocation name included in the command, then obviously it cannot activate the skill. It cannot send a request to the Swiggy application there. Okay, so this is nothing but invocation. Invocation is nothing but asking Alexa to activate a skill. Okay, asking Alexa to activate a skill and then passing the command what is required. What is the command required here? Booking a chicken dum biryani from Paradise is a required command. But here what you're doing here, you're first activating the skill. You're first activating the skill and then requesting, and then you're giving a command to the Alexa. Thereby the Alexa will communicate with Swiggy, and Swiggy will be communicating with the restaurant, and the restaurant will identify from where it has got the order. Everything the Swiggy application will be taken care of, right? So here the request is sent from Alexa to Swiggy application, okay, by activating the skill. Without activating the skill, it cannot send a request to Swiggy application there. Okay, so here for creating a custom skill, and the skill invocation name is Malineni bulb. So the Malineni bulb will be invocation name for the skill which is about to create. Okay, I'm about to create a new custom skill, and the skill invocation name is Malineni bulb. So if I want to access Alexa if I want to give a command, okay, which is related to this skill, I should say open Malineni bulb and process this command. Okay, If you want to switch on the bulb, you cannot say switch on the bulb directly. You should say open Malineni bulb and switch on the bulb. Okay, so this is the skill invocation name. The skill invocation name is nothing but activating the skill. So that is what we are talking about from last 2 minutes. And then interaction model. So let us focus on interaction model. So let us understand what is this intent. Okay, so let us understand what is this interaction model. Interaction model is nothing but the training sets. Okay, the training sets which are nothing but command sets. Okay, for example, say, so let's focus on a simple command. Your target, your goal, your target or goal is to switch on the bulb. Okay, is to switch on the bulb. Then what are the different types of ways in asking Alexa to switch on the bulb? Say, switch on the bulb is one kind of instruction to switch on the bulb, right? Second, make bulb on. Make bulb on. 3, bulb on. 4, please switch on the bulb. 5, just on the bulb. So these are the different types of sample examples, right? These are the different types of sample examples where they are not all are not same sentences, right? But the context of all sentences are same. The context, what is a context here? The context is bulb on, but user will be responding to this context in different ways, right? So it is not necessary that always user should say switch on the bulb. So there are different ways in producing this command, right? Say some people say switch on the bulb, some people say make the bulb on, or some people say please switch on the bulb or on the bulb, something like, there are different types of examples where the context is same but the sentences are different. Okay, the context is same but the sentences are different. So your target is to switch on the bulb. In the similar way, if you talk about switch off the bulb, so you'll be having different types of sentences, right? You'll be different types of commands. You'll be having different types of commands, because we are not guaranteed that always user says it, right? So you should always, while creating skills, you should always find out the maximum number of possibilities that user will instruct. Okay, user will instruct. So these are the sample examples where user can instruct the Alexa to on this context. Okay, there are two different contexts here. One is bulb on, second one is bulb off. Okay, so here this context on Amazon Alexa, is called intent, and these examples are called sample utterances. Okay, so the context is called intent and these examples are called sample utterances. So let's jump into Alexa developer console. So let's check. Yeah, there are intents here. So there are some predefined intents, okay, which is like cancel intent, help, stop, hello world, and navigation home intent. So here let us create an intent by clicking on add intent. Okay, so intent is nothing but context. So what is our context here? There are two contexts here. One is bulb on, second one is bulb off. So let us click on add button. Let us write bulb on context. Okay, so let the intent name be bulb on. Okay, let the intent name be bulb on. So let's click on create custom intent. So this is a custom intent that we are creating, which is nothing but a context. Okay, so sample iterances. So as I said, iterance is nothing but one kind of one instruction which is related to the syntax. Okay, say let's say bulb on is one sample iterance. So after you need to type your iterances here. After that you have to press enter. So when you keep pressing enter, all these sample iterances will be added to the intent. So switch on the bulb. So this is one example, right? So make bulb on the bulb. So place switch on the bulb. So maximum number of iterances has to be listed out here. Okay, we have to give as many as possible. Okay, so here we are giving 5 examples, so that all these 5 examples say is connected with the same context, which is nothing but bulb on. So context is nothing but intent name. So we have to create an intent, we have to create a context, and to this context we have listed out all the possible examples, all the possible iterances. Okay, so let's save this. Okay, so let us create one more intent. So let us create one more intent, because we need 2 intents here. One is we have created bulb on intent, okay, where we have given 5 sample iterances there. So in the similar way, so let us click on add intent again. So let us give an intent name called bulb of. So let us click on create custom intent. So here let us give possible maximum iterances here. So bulb of, make bulb off, switch off the bulb of the bulb, please turn off the bulb. Okay, so the maximum sample iterances. Okay, so let us save this. It's simple. What we did here, we have given invocation name. So we have given invocation name, which is nothing but activating a skill in the interaction model. So we discussed about intent and iterances here. So in the intent we have created 2 intents. One is bulb on intent, second one is bulb of intent. In each intent we have given 5 number of iterances. So let me save this model. Okay, so let us save this model. So yeah, so the intents have been saved. Okay, so these intents will be trained to Amazon Alexa. So when you build this skill, so these iterances will be trained. Okay, so let us train. Before that we need to configure. So let me write down all these things here. Okay, so even after the webinar also I will be sharing this notepad file. Okay, so what we did, so we have created an invocation, and we have created intents. For each intent we have given 5 iterances, which means sample instructions. Okay, so that Alexa can understand. 4. Now what we have to do is we have to identify what is a skill ID. Okay, what is a skill ID? So let's jump back to Alexa developer console and understand what is a skill ID of this skill. Every skill that you create on Amazon Alexa, will be having a unique skill ID. Okay, so let us identify what is that skill ID. So on the left side you'll have a dashboard menu bar, out of which you'll have endpoint. So in the endpoint, so endpoint is nothing but this Alexa skill will be connected to the AWS Lambda. Okay, so here in this page, in the configuration of endpoint page, you will be having skill ID. So this skill ID is a unique ID which is generated for every skill that you create on Alexa skills kit. So let us copy this skill ID. Because we have to paste it in the AWS Lambda. Okay, so let's jump to AWS Lambda. Yeah, so this is a AWS Lambda service. So AWS Lambda service is nothing but when you have only one Python script that has to run, or when you have only one single program that has to run, then immediately this Lambda will help you out. Lambda, we don't focus on what kind of servers has to be created. We don't focus on how to host the server. It's all about the server, and everything will be taken care of AWS, and we'll be focusing on the function which will be called when from the Alexa skills kit. Okay, so let us create a function. So and you're having an option called the create function. Let us create a function. So here the target is very simple. The reason of using AWS Lambda is all about we are having only one Python script that has to be executed. Okay, that has to be called from the Alexa skills kit. Okay, nothing else. That is why we are using AWS Lambda function. Okay, so my AWS Lambda function is hosted in Ireland. Okay, so where you can find out the different data center regions here. So my thing is in Europe, Ireland. Okay, so here I'm creating a Lambda function. So author from scratch. Okay, we'll start from scratch. And basic information, so it is asking to give a function name. So let us give a function name. Okay, so let the function name be okay, Malineni bulb. Okay, choose the language. Yes, it is asking to choose the language. So as I said, you'll have different types of programming languages which are being called on AWS Lambda. But here in Alexa skills kit, we are using Python. Okay, I'm using Python in this webinar. So let us jump to Python, either Python 2.7 or 3.7, whatever. You can use any of thing. Okay. So let us create a function with this name, Malineni bulb. Now a function is been creating on my AWS Lambda service of my AWS account. Okay. So I can able to access this function from anywhere. Okay. And this is also having a unique ID. This is also having a unique ID, and through this unique ID, we'll be accessing it from Alexa skills kit. So that unique ID, here it is. That unique ID is nothing called ARN ID. Okay. So this ARN ID has to be pasted, has to be copied. Okay. So before we copy this, let us do some configuration. Okay. Because as we have copied Alexa skill ID. Okay. So you can able to see an simple, hello world Lambda function there. Okay, we need to write a program here for accessing this skill. So let's go to designer. Let's add trigger. Okay, so let's add trigger. Yeah. So in this trigger, we have to select Alexa skills kit. Okay, and when you select Alexa skills kit, it will ask you to paste the skill ID. You need to enter the skill ID here, and we have copied in the previous step. Okay, I am pasting here. Control V. Okay, so this is my skill ID. So let's click on add. When you click on add, so this Lambda function is now connected with this Alexa skill. Okay, so now Lambda function. So this Lambda function is now connected with Alexa skill of one unique skill ID. Okay, so let us copy this ARN also. So after creating the trigger, after creating the trigger, you need to paste the ARN here on Alexa developer console. So let me paste it. Yeah. So ARN is pasted here, and we have to save the endpoint. So when you paste the ARN here, so they will be connected with each other. Okay. The skill ID is copied from Alexa developer console, to AWS Lambda function. And in the similar way, the ID from AWS Lambda function called ARN is copied from AWS Lambda to Alexa developer console. Okay, and we have saved the endpoint. Now both the front end and back end are connected with each other. So there is a question. Let me answer it. Okay, so I have answered it. So the now front end and back end, and the front end and back end are now connected. Okay, so we have uh, pasted the skill ID from ASK to Lambda, and we have pasted the ARN from Lambda to ASK. So thereby the front end and back end are connected. Thereby the front end and back end are connected. So here let us write a program. Let us write a program. Certificate, someone is asking about certificate. Certificate will be issued, okay, after the quiz. So let us write program so that we can able to access. When you complete your quiz, okay, when you complete your quiz, immediately certificate will be downloaded there itself in the PDF format, okay. So you make sure that you attend this webinar and make sure that you pass the quiz, okay. Okay, let us write a program in order to so let us write a program here. So let me delete this program. I'll share this program as well, okay. It is there in my GitHub, I guess. So so there is a macro which is needed, space import print function. So this is for printing the data. If there is any error in the program, so this data using this function, print function, will be understanding where the error will be, okay. And then import URL lib2. So this is the package which is required to call the devices, okay. So which is nothing but to call the IoT devices. This package is very important, okay. This is used to call the IoT devices from the Python program. And let us understand what is device underscore API. So we need to create a variable. We need to access the device through an API. So let's access the API. I'll write the API of my device, okay. So this is my API of my device. So this is my API key. So this is the API. So that is my API key, which is there on the on my device. So this is needed for controlling the devices. And let us create some functions here. Okay, so which are required to call the Alexa skill. Okay, so def def is nothing but a function, a predefined keyword in Python in order to create functions. So let us create a function, build speechlet. So speechlet response. So this is a predefined function, okay, which has to be defined on Python to generate the speech output of the text. Okay, so we need to pass some arguments here, which is title, output. So as I said, voice will be text will be converted into voice, right? So this will be the function which will convert voice to, text to voice. So there should be some return variables. What is that? Output speech. Yeah, output speech. And type should be plain text. Okay, so as we are giving only plain text, and the text will be, so this has to be converted. So the output should has to be converted. So after this, there should be one more key value pair, which is card colon. So always it will be in dictionary format. Okay, so type, so simple type, type simple, title, session speechlet as this title. And content, what should be the content? The content should be the session speechlet content, and this should be the output. So the next one will be a reprompt dictionary. So we have to create a reprompt. Okay, what it should reprompt. Okay, so let it be output speech, and we have to create a dictionary. So the type should be plain text always, and the text should be so this is the argument. So reprompt and underscore test. So comma. So there is a key value called should end session. So colon should end a session. So this is one function which is created, which is used to convert text to voice and voice to text by the Alexa. So we need to pass all the certain arguments like title, output, and reprompt text, and we should say whether session should end or not. So this is one helper function, and second helper function is def build underscore response. So this is the second function which we have to create. So session attribute and speechlet response. So here we have to return version, say what is the skill version. So let's say 1.0, and what are the session attributes. Okay, so always session will have attributes which are arguments passed to the session. So session underscore attributes, and response. So what should be the response? Response is nothing but speech-led response. So these are the return variables that is returned from the helper functions. Okay. So let us write the skill behavior functions. Okay. So def get welcome response. So get welcome response is nothing but a function which is used to welcome the user. Okay. So here we have to talk about, what kind of welcome message it has to be displayed. Your Alexa has to talk. Okay. When you invoke the function, when you invoke the skill, so what it has to respond. So session attributes. So let it be empty as of now. And card title. And card title is equal to let's say welcome. Okay, so welcome as a card title. And speech output, so what it has to respond as a welcome message. So speech underscore output equal to welcome to IoT skill, or you can say welcome to Malineni bulb skill. Okay, welcome to Malineni bulb skill, please tell me what you want me to do. Okay, so this is like, welcome message when the skill is invoked. So when your skill is invoked, then immediately this message will be, will be printed, will be set by the Alexa. So let us return, let us have a reprompt text as well. So reprompt underscore text equal to please tell me your query by saying bulb on or bulb off. Okay, so we are giving a reprompt text which is like a hint, asking the user to say, to say bulb on or bulb off. Okay, so let's keep, we should not end the session because should end session should be equal to false, then only it goes to the next conversation. Okay, so if it is true, it means it is ended. So let us return all this, return of build underscore response of session attributes. So what are the session attributes, comma, and also we have to call a function called build underscore speech-led response. That is where, all these parameters has to be passed. Card title has to be passed, speech output should be passed, and reprompt text has to be passed, and should end session should be passed. So all these things has to be passed to build speech-led response, so that, it passes the commands to Alexa. So Alexa will be converting all those text to speech and all, right? So next, so the next is important function, uh, which is like, what is the, so one is welcome response. Welcome response is nothing but greeting the user when the skill is invoked. The second one is goodbye session. Okay, let us have a goodbye session here, which is nothing but let us have a name called handle session end request. So let us have this. Okay, let us keep card title equal to session ended. Okay, so this is like bye. When you say bye, then immediately this session will be called. Session ended. So let's have a speech output. Let's have a speech output as, thank you for trying me. Okay, thank you for trying me, have a nice day. So this is like a goodbye message. And then the session should end here, right? So the session should end here, so you have to make it true. So when you make it true, then immediately session will be ended. So let us return this, all this stuff here. Return build a response of, so empty, so we are not considering session attributes and all, comma. So let's have build speech-led response. So here we have to pass certain arguments, and the arguments are nothing but card title. So we need to pass card title and speech output, obviously, and then we are not having any reprompt text, so it should be none. Okay, and then we have to pass student session. So this is how, it is like this function will be called when you say bye. Okay, so when you say bye, so the Alexa will be responding with thank you for trying me, have a nice day. So this is a AND request. So let's have there are two intents which are written, right? So there are two intents which have been created on the front end. One is called bulb on, second one is bulb off. So let us define those functions here on the back end, okay, in order to call them when you say bulb on. So let us write a function here. So def bulb on request of intent. So what is the intent called and what is the session, from which session it has been called. Okay, so let us have a card title. So let us have a card title as bulb on. So that is the thing, and that is the objective of this function, right? So card title as bulb on, speech output. So let's have a speech output. Speech output as okay, okay boss, I made your bulb on. I made your bulb on. This is a speech output, okay, and we have to after assigning the speech output, we need to make our bulb on, right? So that is why here comes the IoT part, okay. URL lib2. So URL lib2 is a built-in package in Python 2, okay, which process the data. URL open up cloud underscore API, device underscore API. So device underscore API plus on. So the command is on. So we need to pass this data. So thereby it sends. So thereby this function will be calling the device and making the device on, okay. And this function is calling the device through an API and making it on. So here should end session. So there should be uh, no other conversation required, okay, to make the after making the bulb on. So should end session false. So return. So this is not the end greetings, right? So when it is end greetings, you have to make it true. When it is not end greetings, you have to make it false. So build response of. So there is no session attributes. So let us call this build speechlet response, which converts our text to voice. Okay. So let us pass all this card title. So we need to pass card title. We need to pass speech underscore output, and there is no reprompt text needed here. So none, and should end session should be false here. So that is also passed. Okay, so this is one function which is been written for making bulb on. So in this, we are calling the IoT by using this API. Okay, so in Python 2 only URL lib2 is available. So that is the reason I'm using Python 2 today. Okay, if it is Python 3, you will have a different syntaxes. Okay, I will share the GitHub file, so you can do it in Python 3 also. So let us have def for other intent also. So because there are two intents created, one is bulb on, second one is bulb off, and we wrote bulb on request, right? So let us have bulb off request. So we need to pass intent and also session as an argument, and let us make card title as bulb off, and speech underscore output. So this is a speech output where Alexa will be interacting with the is giving us an output answer here. So let's say okay boss, I made your bulb off. Okay, and then you need to call IoT device. Okay, so URL lib2 dot URL open of device API. So device API plus off. Okay, so this is a command. This is a function call where it sends a request to IoT using device API key by making it off. Okay, so let's have this should underscore end underscore session. That should be equal to false because this is not any greetings. If it is any greetings, it should be true. If not, it should be false. So return. Let us return this. Return build response. So there is no session attributes here. So that is not required. Build speechlet response. So you need to pass card title, and you need to pass speech output, and you need to, there is no reprompt text here, so that should be none, and should underscore session. So that you have to pass. So here we have created two intents. One is bulb on and bulb off, and we have created two functions here. Okay, next. So next comes the event triggering. Okay, event triggering. So let us define those functions also. So let's use a def keyword on underscore. These are automatic events. Okay, these are like, you know, when the session is started, then immediately this function will be called. Okay, so on underscore session underscore started. So when the session is started, what do you mean by session started? Session started is nothing but, you know, asking Alexa to hear what you're talking about. Okay, when you say switch on the bulb, then you cannot it will not switch on, it will not hear the voice command which is given by the user. Okay, you have to invoke Alexa switch on the bulb. So in Google Assistant also you'll be having okay Google call to mom. So okay Google is nothing but activating the Google Assistant, right? Siri call to mom. So that is where Siri is nothing but an invocation where it is called to invoke. Okay, which is to activate the skill there. So on underscore session underscore started, immediately when session is started, then immediately Alexa will start hearing what user is talking about. So let's have the arguments passed. Session underscore started underscore request comma and the session. So these are the two arguments here. So this function will be called. When this function will be called, this function will be called automatically, called when the session gets started. Okay, when the session gets started. So here print on underscore session underscore started request ID. Okay, let us understand what is the request ID. Okay, so every session will have a request ID. So I'm just printing it. Okay, for session log. If there is any error, then this will help us. Okay, so session underscore started underscore request of request ID. So request ID will be accessed from the you know, session which is coming from Alexa skills kit. Okay, so we are printing the request ID. So if you want session ID, then you can also you know, you can also print the session ID also. Okay, this is for error log. Okay, if there is any error in the program, so this will help us to understand where the error was. Okay, so request ID I should be capital, so that is the predefined key. Session ID. Okay, and return. Oh, so no return required because this is automatic function call. This function will be called automatically when session gets started, so there is no return. So let's have another second event. So second event is very important for us. So def on underscore launch. So this function will be called when the skill was invoked without specifying what they want. Okay, then immediately this function will be called. So on launch. So okay, so let's have a launch request comma session. Okay, so let's print. So let's print. So the launch request ID equal to launch underscore request of request ID, and also if you want, if you need session ID also, you can print it here. So session ID equal to session of session ID. So this has to be ended here. Request ID and session ID will be printed there. So let's print all this data. So after this, so let us return get welcome response. Okay, so when the session is launched, then immediately, so we have to call return and get welcome response. So when the session is launched, immediately welcome message has to be invoked, right? So and that is why we are calling this function from the return variable. Okay, so the next one is the logical function which is required, def on underscore intent. So this is the function which will be called when intent is identified. Okay, so when user say please switch on the bulb, then intent is identified. Okay, when user says switch off the bulb, intent is identified. What is the intent identified there? Bulb off. Okay, so here also you have to pass two arguments. One is intent request and second one is session. So here also you can print the data for debug log. Okay, intent request ID. Okay, equal to intent underscore request of request ID. Okay, so if you need session ID also, you can print it there. So nothing will happen. Session ID equal to session of session ID. Okay, so request ID and session ID. So this all these print statements are for debug log. Okay, if there is any error in the program, because as we are writing big program, so if there is any error here and there, so this will help us. Okay, so let us drag the which intent is called here. Okay, so this function will be called when Alexa identifies the intent. Okay, so intent equal to intent request. So from the request you need to identify which intent it has called and what is the intent name. Okay, as we have given intent names as bulb on and bulb off, so let us have a variable name intent underscore name equal to intent underscore request of intent. Okay, and name. Okay, this will be the sub index. Okay, from intent, so you need to identify what is the intent name. So here, if intent name, if the intent name is equal to bulb on, if intent name is equal to bulb on, return bulb on request. So this function will be called. Okay, so we have defined it above, right? So this function will be called when immediately when intent name is bulb on. In the similar way, if intent name is equal to bulb off, okay, if it's equal to bulb off, then immediately this function will be called return bulb off underscore request of intent comma session. Okay, so other than this, any other intent names are called. For example, there are some default intents like, if intent name is equal to, so there is a default intent like Amazon, always Amazon dot help intent. So this will be the default intent which comes with every skill. So if this is called, so this is like a help intent, right? So let's call it return. So there is no separate function for help intent. We are not written any function. So let's get back to get welcome response. Okay, in the similar way, if intent name is equal to the other predefined intents. Okay, so Amazon dot cancel intent. Okay, if you want to cancel the intent, if you want to cancel the skill, if you want to stop the skill. Okay, if you want to stop the skill, then immediately, so we need to identify them, right? And we need to pass end greetings. So when end greetings is passed, then immediately session says, and chat voice bot says that, okay, thank you for using me and have a nice day, right? So when this intents are matched, okay, if the intent was cancelled or if the intent was stopped, then immediately you have to call end request. End request is nothing but that is a intent, that is a voice message where you will get end greetings there. Okay, so if any other intent other than this, if it is came, then immediately we have to raise error. So let us raise a value error saying that invalid intent. Okay, so these are the functions. Okay, and there is one more function which is missed, is the session was started and the session should end, right? So let us have def on underscore session underscore instead of started we have to end it. So let's have ended. So let's have session ended request. Okay, instead of started request, let's have ended request and session. So we have to end the session, right? So print, so let's have a session ID request. Okay, session ID request equal to plus session and session underscore ended underscore request of request ID. So this has to be printed for session log. So that's fine. So let's jump to the main handler. Okay, this is the main function, which is like, in C programming, we'll have main function, right? In the similar way, this will be the main handler. Okay, this will be the main function in this Lambda event handler. Okay, this is a last function and the main function, def Lambda handler. So this is the predefined function where event and context will be the arguments. Okay, which event and what is the context which has been called and all. So let's print uh, event dot session dot application dot application ID. So from which application it is called. Okay, from which skill it is called. So let's have a session log. Okay, event of session and then application and then application ID. So from which application ID it has received. So let's print all this data for the understanding purpose if we get any error. Okay, so after that, let's have if conditions here. So in order to identify which request it is called, so let's have event of session new. So if it is a new session, then immediately you have to start the session, right? So on session started off. So you need to pass some arguments here. One is nothing but request ID. So request ID has to be passed. Okay, and second one is to intent request and request ID here. So we need to pass request ID. So we need to pass this data, and also we need to pass this session also. So comma event of session. So this has to be passed to start the session. Okay, and then if event request type, if the event request type is equal to launch request. Okay, so when it is launch request, then immediately you have to call return on underscore launch of. So you need to call all these functions which have been defined above. Okay, event. So that is why I said this is a main handler. So far we have defined the functions, but this from here it will be called. Okay, event request comma event of session. Okay, and then elif is nothing but else if, right? Event request type, if the event request type is intent request. Okay, if it is intent request, then we need to call one more function here, which is nothing but on underscore intent. So on underscore intent is a function which is called when intent is triggered. Okay, event of request comma event of session. So it has to return to the on underscore intent function when intent request is received. So in a similar way, there is one more type which is like session ended request. Okay, so elif event request type is equal to session ended request. Okay, is equal to session ended request ended. So re okay, ended request, then immediately you have to call one more function which is on session ended. So thereby the program is done. So because we have called all the functions. So let's have event of request comma event of session. The program looks big, but it's very simple program. Okay, you should understand from where you are calling. So this lambda handler is like a main function. Okay, so this is the main main event handler. Okay, where it is calling all the other functions which are defined above. Okay, so we have defined a few functions wherein on session started, on session ended, and also we have defined functions like on launch and on intent. And also we have defined two separate functions for bulb on and bulb off. Okay, so this is a program. Okay, so let us remove this. After writing this program, okay, you have to click on save. So when you click on save, this program will be saved. Okay, so let's jump to Alexa developer console. Okay, as we have connected both, Alexa developer console and AWS Lambda function, and now we have to build this skill. So let us build the skill. So interaction model, intents, everything is done, right? So interaction model is Malineni space bulb. So that is the invocation name. So let us build it. So let us click on build model. So when you click on build model, as the code is programmed in Lambda function, and the Lambda function and this Alexa skill is connected with each other, okay, then immediately your Alexa skill will be able to access all the functions which are written in AWS Lambda function. Okay, so yeah, the model is getting trained with the intents which I've given. So as we have given two intents here, so it will take only less time in order to get the trained model. Okay, so it will take little time for training. So we have to wait until the model is trained. Okay, it should say builded. Okay, build started. So you'll get a pop-up says that your build success. Okay, your build it success. Yeah, quick build successful. So after this, what we have to do is we have to test whether the skill is working or not, and we can able to switch on the bulb and switch off the bulb if your program is correct. Okay. So as per my assumption, this program is correct. Okay. So let's test it. So let's have clicked on test. Okay, in order to test the skill. Okay. The file was built successfully. Now we are redirecting to test. We are redirecting to the simulator. So I will answer your queries at the end. Okay. Uh, so let us put in development phase. Okay. When you put in development phase, you'll get an access to test your skill. So this is Alexa simulator. Okay. So you can able to see. Now we need to invoke the skill name. Okay. We need without invoking the skill name, we cannot call the intent. So let us invoke the skill name. Let us write open Malineni bulb. Okay. So open Malineni bulb. Enter. Okay, or you can use mic. Okay, there's a mic symbol here. When you keep pressing your mic, your voice will be recorded, so that is also fine. So open Malineni bulb, enter. So it has got audio only response once again. Okay, let me check what is the error. If you want to check where the error was, you should understand the debug log. Okay, so let's jump into the debug log. If there is any error like spelling mistake and all, so as we typed all the program. So I typed all the programs so that I can able to explain each and every line. So if there is any spelling mistake or something like that, then immediately, and this will produce an error. So plain text output, simple session speechlet. Reprompt text. Reprompt text. Okay, let me open the debug log. Okay, so accessing debug log is a bit complicated in AWS because you should open one more service here. So let me open that service. So we have 20 minutes time, right? So let us check the debug. Let me show you the debug log, how to debug all this. Cloud watch, yeah. So CloudWatch is nothing but this here. All the debug log will be displayed. Okay. Okay, this is a CloudWatch. CloudWatch is a service on AWS where it is able to display what are the prints to where what are the errors, what are the debug logs and what it is printing and all. Okay, so all these things we can able to see it from here, which is CloudWatch. The name itself says watching where are the errors. Okay, watching what it is printing. So all these things will be there in the CloudWatch service. So let us quickly get into the logs. Okay. Just taking a lot of time. Okay, so Alexa demo. Oh, this is not Alexa demo, right? Is everything to that is not. Okay, let's try it. Open any bulb. Oh, forgot it. So welcome to Malineni bulb. Okay, when I say open Malineni bulb, so it is saying that welcome to Malineni bulb skill. Please tell me what you want me to do. Say, let's say bulb on. Okay, so let us say bulb on. So it has to say that yeah, okay boss, your bulb. Okay, okay boss, I made your bulb on. Okay, so when you say bulb buff, okay, when you put bulb buff, okay, for testing you can put text commands also, okay. So it is able to respond, okay. And let me also show you the API, okay. Let me also show you the API of my IoT device, okay. So this is the API, and this is the if I want to talk about this API, it takes another webinar, okay. So this was created using our IoT SDK. So let me show you what it is pushing, okay. So pull.php will try to pull the data. So yeah, the recent one is like, 16.1358. If you look at the device status is off, okay. So that was a recent entry. When you look at all these IDs, 16.1358 is a recent ID, right? So that was a command which is pushed by Alexa. So give let us make our bulb on, okay. So let us make our bulb on here. So bulb on, okay. Okay, boss. Okay. Let us go back to the API. Okay. Let us go back to the API and let us reload this page. Okay. Let us reload this page. When you reload this page, you can able to see one status has been added, right? So which is 1359, which is nothing but on. So this on is been pushed from the Python script of AWS Lambda function when you instruct a command called bulb on. Okay. In the similar way, let's put bulb off. Let's put bulb off. So let us reload the page. Okay, so immediately you can able to see a new entry, which is which is nothing but 161360, which is nothing but off. So it inherently means that your Alexa is communicating with the API, and this API is connected with the bulb which is there in my bedroom. Okay, so when you say on, it is going to make on. When you say off, it is going to make off, and your Alexa is pushing data to API because Alexa cannot communicate with the devices directly. Okay, it cannot go to the switchboard. It cannot switch it on, right? It is not robot, it is bot. When you look at robot, if you say, if you ask robot to switch on the bulb, say it goes to switchboard, it will have a robotic arm and it will make it on. But when you look at Alexa will be sending a request through API to the devices, and the devices are controlled with the help of API which is getting from Alexa, and thereby the devices are getting communicated here. Alexa is communicated with the end device through an API. So that is what happening here. So this is all about, controlling the device with the help of API, with the help of Alexa, by using a simple Python script. And this Python script is available in my GitHub. Okay, you can able to access it. Okay. Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll paste this program. Okay, I'll paste this program in the notepad, because I'll share that notepad. Okay, so I'll write the program here. I'll paste the program here. Okay, so that you can also use the same program for creating a different skill. If you want to use the same program, you can also use it. Okay, so there is no like patenting and all. So this is how, controlling, IoT devices, okay, using API from AWS Lambda function. This same AWS Lambda will be acting as backend, and front end will be Alexa skills kit. So that's what this webinar is all about. So now your Alexa is able to access the end devices through an API. So any doubts, any queries, okay, you can ask me. So we have 10 minutes of time to answer your queries. Please send me in chat. Okay, send me in chat. I will quickly answer them. Okay. So there are some queries which I received is, um, intents you can create as many you want. Okay, so there is no constraint in, in the number of intents that you create. You can create n number of intents. Okay, The invocation name should be one. So what are the queries that I got in my chat? Okay, let me see all those queries. Okay, I'll be sending this code. Okay, I am having all this. Okay, now only I'll create a quiz will take only 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes of your time. So tonight at 12 o'clock, your quiz will be live. Okay, you can able to answer it whenever you have time. Okay, so when you attempt the quiz, okay, then only certificate will be generated there itself. Okay, in the form of PDF format, and you can download it and you can put it, you can file it. Okay, so this video is hosted in YouTube live also, so you can access the video from there. I will share this notepad also. So anything else which you wanted to ask, you can ask me. Please show this application with Amazon instead of a simulation. So right away, I'm not having Amazon Alexa device. It is there at my office, so I'm just quarantined. So we will be sharing the link in the WhatsApp group. Please stay in the WhatsApp group, okay? Anyways, you'll be getting an email. So hope you have received some mails from my email ID, right? So my email ID is parvatanenimadu@gmail.com. So you'll be getting the quiz link to that email, from the same email to your email IDs. Okay. If not, I'll post in the WhatsApp group also. You can able to access it. Okay. So there, from there you can avail the certificate and also the coins which we offer for every participant. So let me share this link, okay, so that my task will be done for today. So any other queries you can ask me. So thank you for joining me. Okay. Uh, I would like to thank the Department of EC for giving this opportunity to interact with you all and in the webinar. Thank you, ma'am. I know I'm not sure whether you're there or not, but thank you for giving this opportunity. So I would like to thank the management, principal sir, and all. So of Malineni Lakshmaiah Women's Engineering College for having me in this webinar. So any queries, I am open to talk. Okay, on the WhatsApp. Uh, Bitly. And you can follow this live. Okay, you can follow this video even after the FDP also by in the youtube.com/madblocks technologies. Okay, so this is our YouTube page. This is hosted live. Okay, uh, you can subscribe and you can look at the video which is being hosted there. Okay, youtube.com/madblocks technologies. So that is the YouTube page. Okay, for more queries you can reach me on. Okay, my email ID is with you, right? So I'll share my mobile number. My name is this. So myself, I'm Madhu Parvataneni. I'm the director and strategist. So at madBlocks. So we are into IoT, machine learning, artificial intelligence, virtual reality and augmented reality, game development and all. So you can reach me on mad@madblocks.tech or parvatanenimadu@gmail.com. And this is my WhatsApp 78930155625. Even after the webinar, if you wanted to, if you are doing this, Amazon Alexa skills kit and all, if you have any queries, you can push me on this number. Okay. So I'm glad to help you all. So I'll share this link, okay, so that the program is here and the notes is also here. It may help you out, right? So let us create a short URL because it's difficult to remember all this, right? So let us create a short URL. So Malineni Alexa notes. Save. Okay. So this was saved. Let me put it in the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So in the collab, you'll be having program and notes. Okay. So, and you can repeat this live. You can repeat this live on youtube.com/madblocks technologies. Okay. Can we have a move? Okay. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Stay safe, stay home, stay fit, stay healthy. Okay. Have a nice day. Have a bright future. Okay. Thank you all. Okay, ma'am. 1 second. Um, I have unmuted. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you, Madhu.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I'm in line, but actually you are not unmuted my voice. That's why I'm waiting for that.
Okay.
Thank you for conducting this webinar under EC Department of Malineni Lakshmaiah Women's Engineering College.
Yeah,
On behalf of our chairman and the principal, once again, I thank you for your services to our college. Always you are well wishers of our college and particularly our department. Thank you. You are given an awareness on Alexa, and it's a good exposure for us. Thank you, Madhu, once
Thank you,
again.
ma'am. Yeah. Right, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you all. Good night. I'll see you soon. Okay. See you in the next webinar on the next quiz. Okay. Keep participating in all the events. Okay. We'll meet you soon. Bye. Quiz time tonight. It will be on. Okay. Tonight at 12 o'clock. It will be on. We will be sharing the link in the WhatsApp group and through emails also. We'll be sending a message also. Okay. Normal text, but I'm not sure how many people have seen it because 3 times we have messaged you. And then we have mailed you 3 times. Okay. Please look at your emails. Okay. Everything will be there in the WhatsApp group also. I'll post it. It will be live tonight at 12 o'clock to tomorrow night 12 o'clock. Okay. So in 1 day gap you can attempt the quiz. Quiz will be having only 10 questions. It will take only 5 minutes to answer. When you answer it properly, if you have more than 70%, then immediately certificate will be generated there itself with our CEO signature. Okay. So can we make a leave? Right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Good night. Hello.